Let's move on to our big story now. 6 French tourists and their local guide and driver were killed by gunmen in the West African nation of Niger. Unidentified gunmen attacked the group's vehicle near a giraffe reserve in what is believed to be the first such attack on Western tourists in the area. The group was traveling in a car which belonged to an NGO. According to the reports, the convoy was ambushed. In a statement, the Niger government said that it is managing the situation and that it will provide more information later. Vehicular movement in and around the reserve, which is home to the last Niger giraffes, has been banned since the attack. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron denounced the attack as cowardly and said that he would do everything to shed light on this incident. In a telephonic conversation with his Niger counterpart, Macron said that he was determined to counter terrorist groups in the country, which was former French colony. French forces are currently deployed in several West African nations as a part of a coalition against terrorist groups in the region. However, the coalition has not been able to curb violence linked to Al-Qaeda, Islamic State and Boko Haram. Now, for more on this, our correspondent Phil Ihaza joins us live from the Niger capital of Abuja. Now, Phil, thank you so much for joining us. We would like to begin by knowing, what is the situation on ground right now? What can you tell us?
Well, thank you. What we know that at the moment there's been a phone call, a conversation between the French President Emmanuel Macron and his counterpart in Niger, that's Mahamadou Issoufou, and there's not much details given, as a result of that conversation. But we know that French nationals have been advised not to visit such volatile areas like these. We also know that there's increased security surveillance in that area. We know that for several years there's been a force, a G5 force, majorly from Europe and of course France, that has been trying to ensure there's peace and stability in that area and also tackle insurgency, because this attack has a semblance of insurgency. And so the president of Niger has also said that the investigations are underway. From the nature of the attack, it definitely has the semblance of jihadist extremists in that area, and therefore they're going to try to flush them out and also fish out the perpetrators of these dastardly acts. They came with motorcycles, took lives, burnt down the vehicle, and left the scene of the attack. And so, of course, I'm sure in subsequent days or maybe hours, more details, security details will be released by the operatives.
Now, Phil, on those lines, as you mentioned, it is a volatile area. The area, particularly outside Niamey, is also known to be prone to the threat of terrorism. So just to give our viewers some context, why and in which cases especially are tourists allowed in such areas, and what are the security measures in place? Like we know in this situation, the French nationals were part of an international aid group. So what are the measures in place for such visits?
Well, there's been a presence of security operatives in that area. There's also been collaborative efforts by not just foreign nations, from Europe and the rest, from within Africa, within West Africa particularly. That's the from ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States. Niger borders Nigeria, and Nigeria is also the largest, country when it comes to population in the West African region. There's been some kind of collaboration with Nigeria and Niger through a joint task force, to also reduce the activities of insurgents in that area. So we're seeing more talks now going in. I mean, Mahamadou Issoufou has also visited President Buhari recently. There's been talks to try to kill the rising spate of attacks there. So I'm sure that, with this kind of development now, especially affecting, foreign nationals that, are supposed to come and help to drive humanitarian efforts are being attacked, I'm sure that there will be more renewed conversation to ensure this doesn't repeat again.
Okay, Phil, thank you so much for all those updates. We will definitely continue to bring you all the updates as and when we get more.